I'm telling you this because even if you're just an entrepreneur and you completely work for yourself right now, it is beneficial for you to be able to develop your skills. And sometimes, and I would say majority of the time, it's always great to have a proven skill set, right? Not saying that don't self-teach yourself 100%, do that. But at times, it's always amazing to be able to back that self-taught skill set with something that is proven with a certification. All right, family, let's talk about it. High income skills. I know so many of you are probably looking for a change in career, right? You don't want to go to college, or you already have a degree and you're not you're struggling finding jobs for that, right? Or you never went to college and you want to be able to have something that can help you make more money without going to college to spend all that money. Or you're an aspiring entrepreneur. You're trying to figure out what to build a business in. You're trying to develop skills so that you can become more competitive when it comes to businesses, getting clients, and things like that. And so many different reasons why I believe that you guys should consider learning some of these high income skills. And I'm going to go over a list of a lot of different skills across different industries. And I want you to think about the strengths you have, the interests you have, or the passion you have that aligns with some of these high income skills that you can look into. And all these that I'm talking about are things that you can get certifications for at very affordable prices. From universities or directly from Fortune 500 companies that will allow you to be competitive on your resume or to boost your resume when it comes to business and build credibility, right? So let's talk about it. Before we dive in, it's a custom for me on this channel here to pray over our messages, right? And Father God, I ask that you use me in a way that allows this message to resonate, connect, and reach those for whom it's intended for. That is less of me and more of you. And that this message will fall upon those with soft hearts and open minds. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Now, I pulled up a list. This is actually for a list that was posted from by Indeed, right? Because this is where all the people are looking for jobs and posting jobs and things like that. So I would say that they're the experts on what people are looking for. They have the capability of seeing what employers are searching for based on the applications they're putting on, and what skills that are being searched for, what is highly being sought after, right? So I thought this would be the best one for you guys. And if I see something, if I don't see certain things on here that I believe should be, I'll add my 2 cents. Let's get into it. So first we got here, these are first we got here is, and this is going to be their top things, but we're going to dive in as well. The first thing right here is talking about web development and programming. I mean, this is a no-brainer. 2025 is right around the corner. The internet's not going nowhere. Tech is going to continue to advance, right? Even though it seems like, oh, everybody moved into this space, no, there's still going to be a job being created. There's still going to be a need for this, especially as we start moving into AI. There's going to be people who need to understand AI and things like that, or teach people how to use these tools, teach people how to use these devices. Start a YouTube channel for these things. So, of course, and then with the introduction of Python, so we're looking at HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, Ruby, and so forth. So if you're someone who's already interested in tech, you're someone who's already on the computer all the time and you understand things a bit more than the average person, then you might want to go ahead and look at certifications in coding, programming, web development, right? Why not? Second thing, digital marketing and social media management. Man, this is something that it blows my mind how many people are not trying to become experts at this. Social media will not go anywhere. It's only going to advance itself. We're only going to see higher versions of this, right? And the amount of people who there's a window, right? Because here's the thing. You would think, oh, once boomers are moved out of the way and the millennials get older, then everybody else will know how to make content. No, that's not true, man. It's simply not true. People don't understand marketing. They don't understand the digital marketing. They don't understand how to separate themselves and a brand and all these other things like that outside of creation, outside of the deeper inside of it. You'll be surprised at how many people get lucky and how people actually learn. These algorithm learns, these markets learn media, right? So it's definitely a skill, and along with this is some people break this down as far as SEO, because SEO is a skill in itself. And yes, digital marketing has to do with SEO, but it also has to do with advertising as far as like running ads and things like that on social media, and also just content marketing and social media creation in itself. So it's like a one-stop shop. This would also include copywriting as well. So these are also individual skills that you can learn. You can make content for people. You can know SEO. You can learn content. You can learn copywriting, and you can learn how to run ads. But all together, being a digital marketing, you can create a digital marketing agency. You can build a business off of this, or work somewhere with this skill set. Highly this and whew, that's a big one. Another one, graphic design and multimedia production. Of course, it's not going anywhere, guys. And now with applications like Canva, you're able to do things like this without having the complexity of Photoshop. But Photoshop is going to have to compete with Canva and start to kind of close the skill gap for new users and people that want to use that. So I do believe that the complexity and capability of Canva is starting to increase, and Photoshop is going to have to kind of lower the learning curve for new beginners and things like that to better like cater to people who are becoming interested in that, or they'll just go to Canva, right? But Photoshop is still a big name in that field. It's going to take a while for them to actually like lose a big chunk of that market space. But graphic design, man, of course. I had a business coach of mine a few years back. They said that before they really took off with their business, that they were making like 10 grand a month just doing work in graphic design, like literally. And we're talking about like thumbnails, we're talking about flyers, we're talking about like so much different work that can be done. So if you're someone who can draw and you're willing to learn how to, take that creative aspect, and you don't even have to know how to draw, but if you're someone who's just a creative individual, good with colors, typefaces, and you have tastes, visual, like, you know what I mean? Maybe look into this, man. Maybe digital marketing is too much, and you're just looking at just the graphic design aspect, and you can literally do that, or video editing, animation, visual effects, things like that, man. This is literally 100%. Of course, this is an oldie but a goodie. We're just looking at skilled trades in general. We're looking at electricians, plumbers, HVAC technicians, carpenters, things like this. Guys, this is never going to go out of style. It's never going to be obsolete. People still need skilled labor. People still need people who can build houses, who can set up, wiring, who can set up HVACs, who can do all those things like that. If you're somebody who's good with their hands, you love learning, you like, this blue collar type of stuff, don't overlook that as if you can't make a lot of money in this. And a mentor of mine currently, I'm at my church, owns a construction company, right? So, and he told me their first year he did $250,000, right? So it's like, this is not going anywhere. If you have the skill, there's nothing stopping you to start your own business, to learn from someone else, acquire as much skill as possible. This industry is always going to be booming because there's always work that needs to be done, especially because, the deterioration, right? Buildings and things like that deteriorate. So there's going to need somebody to come fix things up. So even if you do a job, the job's going to need to be done again sometime in the future. So it's a ticking time bomb. So you're always going to have money here. And it's a highly sought after skill, right? Next, sales and entrepreneurship. When you realize that everything is sales and business is a universal language, understanding how entrepreneurship works, understanding how business works, it's something that you can go to school for, but it's also something that you have to learn from experience. Entrepreneurship, right? You have to start a business, see how it works, and to really figure it out, because entrepreneurship is such a loaded thing that it's literally so complex. There's so many moving parts to it. In the book E-Myth Mastery, it talks about all the roles you play as a business owner. These are roles you eventually hire people in down the road, but as you're starting off, these are all the roles that you play as a business owner. And you have to know how to do all of that, marketing, blah, 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 blah. But what compensates for a lack of skilling in those aspects is if you just are really good at sales. So, and they say this, and I would say if someone's starting a business and they are figuring out who to hire, right? Well, first and foremost, you got to know how to do all the jobs to your best of your ability, so you can create systems to hire people in those roles and functions and so forth, right? So, because you have to train them. So the first thing would be, if you're overbooked, then you need an admin or an assistant to help minimize and take over that stress and, structure and order of your schedule, right? Customer emails, respond to all those things like that. Yes, 100%. I get that. Yes. But that's when you are still doing the role. If you're trying to, and that's just to sustain. If you're trying to scale, the first person you need to hire is, someone who can help with revenue. And that typically looks like someone in sales, right? How do you build a sales skill? How do you build your sales skills? Yeah, you can understand the psychology of it and read on it and things like that. But this is something else that you just learn from being in action. You have to get a sales job. What's an easy way to do this? Guys, you can literally go take a gig at AT&T or something like that and learn how to sell phones. But it's not that much selling for real. This was like my intro to this as well. I used to work at a phone store. And it's not that much selling. You can do cars, but cars is also kind of like, there's a lot of different aspects to it. But none of that will compare to you selling your own product or selling someone else's product, because likely no one's looking for it. People are coming in to get phones. They're coming in to get cars. They're coming in to get shoes at Foot Locker, right? So that's not the same sort of sales. Now, there's people who are in stores, work at kiosks, cologne kiosks, the shoe cleaning kiosks, things like that. Working at something like that will also allow you to learn sales. That's how I learned a lot about sales as well, working and running my own kiosk. And I was able to really learn sales from that. And it's a dog eat dog world. You got to build grit. You got to be comfortable with people telling you no, really. But it's a skill that if you learn it and you're good at it and you understand the psychology of it, you're a valuable asset to any team, because you know why people buy and you know how to get them to say yes. Valuable skill, that in entrepreneurship in itself, either if you're helping somebody grow a business or if you're helping someone with sales or helping yourself. 100%. Let's see. Let's go. What else we got here? So now they're kind of talking about specifically in tech and digital skills and things like that. So again, we're talking about coding and programming. 100%. We're talking about web development and app development. We're talking about digital marketing. And these are things I want you guys to look up to. If there's something that you want to look up, man, because a lot of these careers or fields are paying north of 70 grand, and depending on where you live, again, that's going to fluctuate, right? So 70 grand and freaking Ohio is different from, that job is not going to pay that in California. Likely you're looking at maybe 120 or something like that. So look into this. This one says UI and UX design, user experience or user interface. To be honest, I'm not 100,000% sure what this is. I think this is also, it says from web high salaries, freelancers, strong portfolio. Now, I'm not really sure what this is. I think this is just like interface programming and things like that. I still think this is programming and coding, but I'm not sure. Maybe people in the comments know. If this is something that you're looking into, maybe someone else in the comments is interested in looking into this. You guys can provide insight there, or just look it up. You know what I mean? Data analyst. This is something that I'm thinking about in 2025, getting certifications in. For one, that can help me as I grow and develop my businesses, but also be an asset to other teams. Data analyst is the in between like a business advisor, which I'm currently certified in, and in like IT, right? This is someone who can take complex information and data and present it and analyze it to help make that data-driven decisions for business owners and for their own business, right? And it's a skill. If you like numbers, if you like nerdy things, if you like breaking things down, stuff like that, it's a good skill to have. But they make a lot of money because within this includes having to use tools like SQL, Python, Tableau, and things like that are highly sought after. You know what I mean? Even like on a simple form, Excel spreadsheets and things like that. So I'm telling you this because Even if you're just an entrepreneur and you completely work for yourself right now, it is beneficial for you to be able to develop your skills. And sometimes, and I would say majority of the time, it's always great to have a proven skill set, right? Not saying that don't self-teach yourself 100%, do that. But at times it's always amazing to be able to back that self-taught skill set with something that is proven with a certification. You don't have to, long gone are the days where you need to go to college and earn a 4-year degree. I'm not saying that doesn't help you. Yeah, it can help you. It'll set you apart if you guys both got the same certification, like, outside of your portfolio and things like that. So yeah, 100%. But likely you can get very far and make a lot of money because we're just trying to get our foot in the door. And we're looking at entry level and get a certification and build from there. You know what I mean? So 100%. Let's get to it. Again, they're breaking down here just the creative design skills, and we're getting to my graphic design, which is something that I honestly want to learn, but I'm not that creative when it comes to art and stuff like that. And I don't think even if I learn how to do it, I don't think I would be the best at it, right? And I say play to your strengths. It's not a strength of mine. Video editing, production, I can learn this, but my videos, I don't really edit that much. They're good for what I'm trying to do. I can learn a little bit more, but I don't have to take a certification for that. I can only watch a couple YouTube videos, learn some tips and tricks, rock out with that. Photography, of course, photography is always going to be a thing people are purchasing, man, like, to be honest. And I know with like cell phones and things like that, people might think that, oh, no one's buying photography and things like that. People take their own photos. No, man, some people just have like a visual, they have like just the eye for it. They have just the feel for it, the angles, the creativity, the ideas, and then also learning how to use these machines, how to use advanced cameras and things like that. Most people don't know how the ISO works and the aperture and all that stuff like that, and that's a whole learning curve in itself as well. All in all, people are still getting photos done for weddings. People are still getting photos done for gaming and sporting events and music festivals, things like that. People are still getting these things done for prom and senior photos and things like that. There's times where people don't want you taking a picture off a phone because it's just not like given like that you care. You know what I mean? So they're going to pay for someone professionally to come in because they want the best quality, because they want this memory to last and be captured at the highest possible quality, right? So you can literally do this as a photographer. Animation, of course. What are we even talking about? What debate is there even to have on this? The animation is here. It's going to be here. And if you learn AI and you understand animation, it's going to be another tool in your tool belt to be able to double as illustration, of course, especially like when it comes to like, so Adobe Illustrator, especially when it comes to like, clothing, apparel, and that industry and things like that, and just the mock-up industry and the spec industry and complex things like that. Learning how to illustrate. Well, if you know how to illustrate, learning how to do it on these complex tools would definitely make you a lot of money. Would definitely make you a lot of money as well. Unfortunately, I don't know how to draw, so that's not my thing. And then we're looking at, again, the whole skilled labor, auto repair, welding, electrician, plumbing, HVAC, construction, and carpentry, 100%. Oh, here's some more, and these are some more skilled. I love how they broke this down into different categories. How much time we in? Okay, dang, I didn't know this video was gonna be that long. All right, let's rock. So, so they're looking at here, personal training and fitness. To be honest, this is like, if you're someone who has really dove into like fitness, and you know so much about it, and you're like, man, right now I'm working as a banker and I make, $30 an hour. Likely you can make double training people towards their fitness goals. And there's always somebody in the gym who probably needs help, or someone who wants to get in the gym who doesn't know where to start, and you could be training them, right? You can partner with gyms and you can provide that service to their clientele, or you can build your own clientele, right? And take a pass. I don't know how that stuff works. I'm pretty sure it's not that difficult to figure out where to train people at, or how you can train people, or how it can benefit the gym. You know what I mean? But you can make good money, and then you can go on YouTube and create content around that. So this is a no-brainer to me. Hairstyling and cosmetology, of course, it's never gonna go out of style. People need their hair done. They want to feel good. They want to look good. Get certified. You're certified. Culinary arts, chefs, of course, you make a lot of money. Landscaping and gardening, that is like a dang near $1 trillion industry when it comes to um, just gardening and landscaping and all that stuff like that. There's a lot of things, guys. Honestly, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about pulling this up, and of course, there's other things that we really dive into tech, like when we get into things like cybersecurity is a big one right now. Cybersecurity, I would say, and these are me adding things in cybersecurity. I understand that's a big thing. Knowing how to use AI, teaching people how to use AI, understanding AI, applying it, and so forth. 100%, definitely a skill you can build. Communication, knowing how to speak, right? Uh, Really, communication in general, and communications I will also kind of put in as a main category for sales, but also they kind of play hand in hand, because communication also goes in with like leadership and networking and things like that are just very valuable, because there's a role at big companies called public relations, and you literally just go out and you build relations and you speak on behalf of, if anybody plays NBA 2K, that's what Ronnie 2K is. Ronnie 2K is literally just a public relations individual. He doesn't make the game, he's just like the face. He represents the company. He's a good communicator. He's good at networking and build relationships, things like that. There's literally a job just for those skill sets, dude. And he's just as famous as the game itself. So, yeah, man, take time, sit with this, research the things that we're talking about here, see what you might be interested in, what you might have the skill set in, and what can pay you. Like, even look on Indeed and see what jobs are opening up. Look at the possibility or potential of building a business in some of these things, right? You can even learn these things and then get on YouTube and make content about it. Like, it's just, there's no excuse for staying where you're at in life. There's no excuse in not going out and grinding and trying to better your life. There's literally no excuse, with so many opportunities to learn, certify yourself, and then get in a good situation. So I love you guys. Please take care of yourselves, invest in yourself. 2025 is right around the corner, and we are getting 1% better every day. All right, talk to you guys tomorrow.